Why your avoidant lives rent-free in your mind. Keep watching. Why can't I stop thinking about my avoidant? Trust me, it's not because they were your soulmate. What if I told you that the fact you can't stop thinking about that avoidant partner doesn't mean that they were the love of your life? In fact, your brain can become more attached to someone who gave you inconsistency, way more than someone who actually loved you well. Think about that. If you spend months or even years replaying conversation, checking their social media, wondering if they're thinking about you, this video might completely change how you see that relationship. Because the problem isn't that you love too much. The problem is that your nervous system got trapped. So let's talk about why. If you're new to this channel, I'm Marianna Turov. I'm a neuroscientist and an anxious attachment clinical specialist. And I am the creator of NeuroIdentity, a neuroscience method I have developed based on my research on over 10,000 anxious attached people worldwide. A neuroscience method I have developed based on my research since the year 2017. A research on over 10,000 anxious attached people worldwide. In this training, you go from anxious attachment to secure attachment at the identity level. Imagine navigating relationships with calm, security, and ease. If you want to watch my NeuroIdentity Masterclass, click on the link in the description box. And also, don't forget to subscribe, give me a like, and leave me a comment. It really helps my mission of getting rid of anxious attachment from this planet, because you and I know that anxious attachment hurts too much. One of the biggest lies anxious attached tell themselves is this: if I'm thinking about them every day, it must mean they're my soulmate. No. People with anxious attachment don't just remember relationships, they mentally relive them. You replay every text, every hug, every argument, every moment they suddenly became distant. You analyze every word, you wonder what you could have done differently. Meanwhile, they're occupying your thoughts without even paying any rent. And here's what's heartbreaking. You start believing that because they're constantly in your mind, they must still be emotionally connected to you somehow. But that's not how the brain works. Your brain doesn't become addicted to certainty. It becomes addicted to uncertainty. Think about a slot machine. If a slot machine paid every single time, it would actually become boring. But if it pays randomly, you keep pulling the lever. Maybe, just maybe, this next one will pay me something back. Maybe this next one, or this next time, or this next time. Relationships with avoidance often work exactly like that. Some days they're affectionate, some days they're cold, some days they tell you they miss you, then they disappear. Your brain starts chasing the next emotional reward, not because you're weak, because intermittent reward or intermittent reinforcement is one of the strongest learning mechanisms the human brain has. Your nervous system learns. Keep trying. Maybe love is coming back. Maybe he will change this time. And that loop becomes incredibly difficult to break. You see those people in those slot machines, how they spend all day, all their time, they do absolutely nothing just because they expect that reward? That's exactly how you're living it right now. So here's what makes it worse. Most anxious people don't realize they're feeding the loop every single day. You imagine conversations, you reread old messages, you stalk their Instagram, you remember that vacation, you remember that kiss, you remember when they cried and opened up to you a little bit. Every moment tells your brain this relationship is still relevant. Your brain doesn't know the relationship ended. It only knows that you still rehearsing it. Imagine watching the same movie every night for 6 months. Of course, your brain remembers every scene. You're practicing remembering them. That's the only thing your brain is doing. This is a truth nobody talks about. Here's the part that changed everything for me when I understood it. You're not obsessed with that person. You're obsessed with the unresolved prediction your brain keeps trying to solve. Your nervous system hates unanswered questions. Why did they change? Why did they go cold? Did they ever love me? Will they come back to say they're sorry? How did I ruin this? Did I have the chance to fix it? Every unanswered question keeps the emotional file completely open, and your brain keeps searching and searching and searching. Not because the answer exists, but because uncertainty feels dangerous. So every intrusive thought isn't evidence of love. It's evidence that your nervous system still believes there is a problem to be solved. And that's a completely different thing. So, how to start breaking the loop? Next time you think about that avoidant person, don't ask yourself, why can I stop loving them? Instead, ask, what uncertainty is my brain trying to resolve? That question changes everything, because once you stop chasing answers from them, you can finally start giving your nervous system something it actually needs: safety, certainty, closure that comes from you, not from another text message, not from one last conversation, not from them finally explaining themselves. Healing isn't about forcing yourself to stop thinking about someone. It's about teaching your brain that emergency is over. If any of this resonates with you, you can download my guide, The Anxious Attachment Healing Map, down below in the description box. And I have a gift for you. Join the community of Neuro Insiders, and you will receive my newsletter in 15 minutes with me on the phone. Yes, you and me together, where I can answer your questions, and I'll help you find the best strategy for you and your anxious attachment. No catch, it's free. It's just you and me talking and planning. So you want to teach your brain that emergency is over, that you're safe now, that love doesn't have to feel so unpredictable, and that your peace is worth more than one more answer you'll probably never get. For all the people that I've talked to in these past 10 years as an anxious attachment clinical specialist, I can tell you that everyone fantasizes about seeing their ex walking through that door saying, I am sorry, let's start over. And you know how many times that happens? 0 times. And if it did happen, they only had to wait 4 weeks for them to go back to what they usually used to do. If this video described exactly what's been happening inside your mind, let me know in the comments. What question about your avoidant has your brain been trying to answer for the longest time? And if you're ready to stop living in survival mode and finally rewire the anxious attachment patterns that keep you stuck, check out my NeuroIdentity Masterclass. And I will show you why understanding your attachment style isn't enough, and how to actually retrain your nervous system so these intrusive thoughts lose their grip. Remember this, these intrusive thoughts about this avoidant partner, the goal isn't to get the thoughts out of your head. The goal is to build a life so emotionally secure that your brain no longer needs to keep searching for these answers. I hope this video served you, and I will see you on the next one.